can show to Community Pay It Forward that receipt with the fundraising partners, and then proceeds from those purchases can go to Zetas Healthy Beginnings. That's a great thing. And then, so I guess it would take, research. I mean, in faith communities, there are women's ministries, and there's a lot of great nonprofits local to all of us that are doing things with women. So like you say, to seek out those community organizers. Zach and I, Emily and others, we're involved in veteran service organizations, and we're aware of that women veterans have their own particular concerns on top of concerns that come from being a veteran. Being a woman veteran, has additional aspects that there's an advocacy for. So I think these opportunities are all around us. So I think it starts with making a personal decision and commitment to say we are going to pay attention to these connections, community connections in the marketplace, in our own communities, and in our conversations, to bring this stuff up as we're talking to people, because I think a lot of this is out of sight, out of mind. And I think it gets real interesting real fast when we bring up these topics that people we think we know pretty well, when we bring up these topics to people we know, it becomes a lot of times an opportunity to know them even deeper when you allow them to share with their perspective, like you're doing for us right now, to talk about it and to, share what it means to us personally. I think that's a huge benefit, because if we don't make this something we're speaking to, it's kind of hard to figure that we're going to do anything if we don't somehow put together in our own mind, what it is we're going to do, in terms of being on this financial side, going and volunteering, making ourselves available to say, hey, how can I help? What events do you have? Like I talked about, being in the planning committees for the event. Every little bit helps, so I guess I'll leave that as something to get us started. So what does somebody else have now?
Hey guys, I've got to go to my doctor's appointment, but I'm very, very interested in all of this. So I'll be connected. I've been working on Zeta's website. I didn't mean to interrupt there, Zach, but I got to go. And we'll be back next week, okay?
All right, thank you. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
guys.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
I think you're doing very well. And
So much. Thank you so much, Zach. I am really thrilled to be part of this bigger picture here in the United States, and to actually connect with individuals, men and women who have that zeal, who have that priority for the marginalized. And in this case, we are talking about women and children. And our veteran women also, women veteran, as Kat said, even go the extra mile to really, provide for family, for our country, and for the whole world. So I am so privileged to be part of this and my organization, and I'm so happy for those who have really supported us in so many ways. Again, as Scott said, this podcast was made, the Word of Ability has also helped us a lot. In fact, they started this whole thing. It started with Scott's suggestion, which was really a good timing. And here we are doing what we needed to do. And Zach, thank you, because you brought your mom. Not only that she shared with us, which really still sticking with me, all that she's still doing. She has done in the past, still doing. And now you have followed that footstep and you're doing it in a different way, in a much expanded way. And this is, for me, this is the thing. It's in our DNA. It runs in the family. So sometimes when you get like minds together, it makes the world go around. It just changes the whole atmosphere. And one or two people can really turn everything around. And John that just left right now, I met him also through HMP, and he offered to help with our website. And he has really done a total transformation to our website, and it's still, going. So I am so privileged to have you guys. And here is also Patrick, who is here now sharing, has a whole lot to share with us because he was impacted from childhood by his own mom. So these are people that I want to relate with, who understand. And here is Hannah, who started her own, men-dominated business, and she's still carrying on with it. This is what I mean. So whatever we can do physically, mentally, or even spiritually, to really support women and children, just know that you're doing it for the whole world, for the whole family, that you're not just helping a woman just for that woman's sake. No, just know that you're building the world through helping women and children. So I'm opening it again for anyone that wanted to make more comments or questions, please. Yeah, I think, and this is a very wonderful question. I appreciate you asking, Zach. And that's one of the things I'm thinking to roll out on this our platform, because like you said, whenever I say that this is a place where women thrive and we welcome women to feel comfortable here, one of the things that I have in mind is shame, because a lot of women not only feel ashamed to ask questions, they're also fearful, of what the repercussion is going to be and stuff like that. And I don't want any woman or even any man to feel that shame, because there's nothing to be ashamed of. Honestly, there's nothing to be ashamed of. And starting teachings about parenting, no man gets 100% parenting skills. Nobody's taught that. My parents were not taught that. And I'm sure most of us those of us that have babies, we're not taught really thoroughly what to expect. You just become a parent, that's it. And then you juggle with a whole lot. But what I'm thinking of doing in the nearest future is to introduce prenatal coaching. When women are pregnant, and that is not really giving people lecture, but to invite them to ask questions. Just feel free to ask me any kind of question, because as a midwife, I don't think there's anything that you can ask now that is strange. I have practiced this for more than 25 years, so there's nothing I haven't heard or seen. So I like to provide answers as much as possible to the questions that women have. And I know a lot of them ask me in private, and I always answer, but I encourage them to say, please, if you can come to our podcast, you pose your questions. If you have a question, probably other people do, So that's what I'm thinking about rolling out pretty soon, where women can be encouraged to learn when you are pregnant, even before you get pregnant. Have you ever had anybody in your family or friend who was pregnant? How did it go for them? What happened? How were you involved, in the preparation? Be it helping them with when they wanted to go to the doctor, or bringing them something, while they were pregnant, or even sharing the difficulties, early symptoms women have when they become pregnant. So if a lot of people are not involved, honestly, men and women alike. So then I start asking them, okay, you want to be pregnant? What is your expectation? Where are you right now? What plans do you have? Because you're not just going to wait until the baby lands, then you start planning. No, it's too late at that point. So then what would be your problems? So we set priorities. If you're expecting a baby, it takes 9 months or a little bit more to prepare. But right now, what are your baseline preparation for having a baby? Do you have a comfortable apartment, a home? Do you have a circle of friends that will support you? Do you have family members? Who is your partner? Are they ready for this kind of stuff? Where are they in this whole process? So all of this will some majority won't believe, majority of men and women wait to have the baby first before they start thinking. And that's really too late. So those are the points that we will be talking about and seeing how we can support women. When we think, when we talk about all the reactions that happen once a baby comes, it's as a result of people not getting prepared prior to the baby coming. Yes, a baby has to, that's a good sign that the baby is alive when the baby either smiles or cries. If your baby is not crying, you don't want to pick that baby up because that something is wrong. So then when your baby cries and cries out of normal, you want to find out what else is going on. The stages of development for a baby, they are all different for each baby. So people also need to know that, what to expect as soon as you have a baby. How do you prepare yourself mentally before your baby comes. And when the baby is hungry, instead of shaking the baby, how do you prepare to go change the diaper, go get food, sit down and relax, rock your baby and feed the baby? That's all the baby needs. So how do we sit down and internalize all this information so that when the baby comes, you're not shaking the innocent child as if he did anything to you, nor did he invite you to bring him to the world? So those are the things that we want to process. And I know we don't get it once, no, because from my experience, you need to talk about it again and again and again. And even when the baby comes, that's even when you need to emphasize more the need for not, acting weird to your baby, because babies are innocent. We know that. It is our circumstances, sometimes our own lack of responsibility, that will cause us to react negatively to a baby. So those are the things I have to, I will really be unpacking as our podcast moves along. And I will also be inviting you guys to add your own input, because I know collectively we can support our people, support family. And by doing that, we're supporting our world. So anyone else with some suggestion, please feel free to share. Yes. uh, Patrick, you want to say something?
Thanks for having me. I was listening to what you were saying there and what others were saying. And for me, it comes down to three important elements. One is hope. We must have hope. And we must have potentially opportunity. And then we need mentoring, and if you know anybody that's looking for these three elements, I'd love to talk to them. My details are in the chat, because I think people need to have a conversation for them, putting them at the center and asking them, what does winning look like for you, And because there was never a better time for entrepreneurs, opportunity. Never in the history of the world was there. So look at us here; we're all over the place, and yet we're in this one room. It's unbelievable, And so it's a fantastic medium, but I think we need to. I don't fully understand the power as yet of the Happy Neighborhood Project. You know, you can be in something and you say, well, yeah, how can we use it better? You know, how can we be better at it? You know, and that's why these forums are so good. You know.
Thank you so much. Yes. Yes. Yeah, and what you just said there, Patrick, is loaded. And I am so happy that you made that expression, because now, just last week actually, I was talking to one of my girls, women. She had a new baby, and she was like asking me all kinds of questions with breastfeeding, with everything. So at the end of our conversation, I said to her, what do you do when the baby is sleeping? And have you really had a little bit of time to think through stuff, you know, that you want to do, say in the next 6 months or in the next 1 year, when your baby is like starting to walk around and stuff? And she said to me, you know what? She doesn't know what to do. And honestly, a lot of them are like that. If you deal with these young women, you will be amazed at how confused they are. But it's a good thing. I say it, once I see them in that whole kind of mess, I'm happy, because one is, it gives me an opportunity to engage them in conversation. Because one is, with their own generation, there isn't that, I think there's a lack, there's a gap in communication. And they will tell you that they are the best communicators in the whole world, but that's fine, because they do. I have 1,000 friends on Facebook. I have 1 million followers on TikTok. But in the end, you see that they don't have anybody, honestly, to help them through life. And when it comes down to raising a baby, there is nobody. So I try to engage them to see, can you really think of what you want to do? How can you really be a model to this baby? And what you want to do starts right now. Start thinking about it. Start looking for avenues to support yourself and support the baby. And I have encouraged them to even go online, you know, see stuff for yourself. The phone you have on your hand is not just for TikTok. It's not just for going to do other stuff that won't really be that much beneficial, because you're building a family, whether you're ready for it or not. The baby's here. So what are we going to do? So that really helps. And when people think of and tell me, okay, I'm interested in going back to school, or I'm interested in doing this or doing that, one of the suggestions I give is, right now, with the event of COVID, I think we got an opportunity, a wonderful opportunity, where people can really get into any kind of business of choice online. And I know funding is always a challenge. But if one is actually interested in a particular business, that's always a way out. If you put your whole interest in it, you can always be connected to individuals. And that's where HMP is really, I see HMP as a connection. It's a powerful tool that one can use to refer some of these girls, you know, to that, and make connections with other people. They can network and then find their way, you know, through that means. So that's one of the things I'm doing as well when I talk to some of my girls. So anyone with any other suggestions?
Zita. Oh,
Yes.
I'm sorry. Oh,
Go ahead,
Hannah.
Hannah. Yeah.
Well, you know, Zita, when I listen to you, you are so inspirational. I mean, you just give off this inspiration, and we need more people like you. to have these platforms, because after I had my children, I depended on my mom. And my mom was very good, but she was old fashioned in her ways, and they weren't always the best ways. But I never had anyone really. I did raise my children. I was a teacher, I also worked, but to have platforms like you're talking about is needed. We need this. It's so important. And, networking is great, but it's the connections we make and following through with the connections. Podcasts, they're wonderful. It's all about relationships. That's all. Oh, can you hear me okay?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, all right, good. COVID has changed everything. But, I have learned so much. I learned, I'm on webinars, podcasts. I really like my Zooms, not that I don't like meeting people and talking to people, but this is a great way. I've met so many people, made so many connections, but it's true. We don't, your child is born. How do you raise the child? How do you work and raise this child? There are so many questions. And Zita, you're a doula. You're a doula?
I'm a midwife.
You're the midwife. Okay. I don't, a very good,
okay.
A very good friend of mine, her daughter is a doula.
Okay.
I don't know that much about it, but we're becoming friends. But I think it's so important to communicate, to learn. We need to learn. We don't have the answers. So this is why your platform is so important. And it's making the connections and following up on the relationships and connections. Now, I'm writing my story, and I've met so many great writers that are helping me, because I know I can't do it myself. So I'm sorry I'm late. I got home later tonight from work, but I really enjoy your podcast. I look forward to it. And everybody on it.
Yeah, thank you, Hannah. Thank you. I'm so
Thank you.
appreciative of your presence and your contributions here. And I know that with time, we're going to really get to where we're going. Like you said, this is the best platform that I feel will help us help other people, because we want to bring the reality of the challenges that young women and men face today, especially when it comes to building a family. That is not really business as usual, and that the world has changed. But what has never changed is raising your kid, whether you like it or not. You get a kid, it got to be raised. You're not running away from that one. It's just finding a way, the best way in this, time we're in, to do your best and raise your baby in the right way, because all you're doing is making your own contribution to the world. A child that is born today, whatever we give that child in the next 20 years, you stay back and watch what happens. So we all have to be conscious of that and share this with our friends and family. Let's all come together, listen to the good information that will really help all of us build our families, communities, and the global community. This is very important. And Patrick, I'm hoping that you'll be able to share with your friends. I know the timing is a little bit awkward for them. We can also arrange, other time with people when we have enough people outside the United States to, keep spreading the good news. This is the way I look at it. So let us know. We're here and doing our best. And I'm so happy
Yeah.
for your support.
Thank you so much. The timing in Ireland at the moment, we haven't moved our clocks forward, you see. So it's nearly 1 o'clock in the morning now. So, but next week we will move our clocks forward. So this call would start at 1 in the morning and finish at 2. And that'll be pushing it for me now. But
Right. I know.
but going back to like what Kurt and what Zach are doing in relation to nonprofit, and Zach and I had a conversation around veterans and the challenges they have, and I mean it's unbelievable. I'm only beginning to understand it all. The suicide rate, for example, which is awful, and but so. We all need good mental health, and that's you see, if we start with good mental health, now we can't be feeling on top of everything all the time. But what I try to do with my day, as an example, is I try to look at it in 3 parts. So what can I do in the morning that's going to be me at my best, you know? And that may not work. So I start again in the afternoon. Then I start again in the evening. So, you know, you achieve something, you know. So you keep moving forward. You keep failing forward, or something like that. So,
Yeah, so I am so glad that we are here making all these helpful contributions, and let's keep growing this group and see where we go with it. And I see that we're going forward with it. And for next week, one of the most powerful women that I also connected through podcast, her name, through, sorry, not podcast, through Happy Neighborhood, HMP, Claudette Fobin will be talking to us. She is powerful. She is one of those pillars. And if you really want to learn about what it means to be an entrepreneur, what it means to be a woman that is really going to empower the world, you want to listen to her. So please come back next week, ready to take away a whole lot of information that will really be useful in your own individual life, and even for the community and the family. So with that, I want to thank everybody for coming, and please come back next week. And thank you so much for your time. Have a good night and a good morning for Patrick.
thank you.
I got back just in time to go away.
Oh, John came back.
John, how's your heart, John? How's your heart?
It's good. I had great news today.
Oh, good.
I went in a couple weeks ago. I had a heart monitor put in about a year ago, and my heart was starting to fail. It was getting real weak. So about a couple weeks ago, they thought they were going to have to put another monitor in there that has a defibrillator in it. So I had me do a test a couple weeks ago, and I came back and he said my heart looked a lot stronger, and I'm good to go. I don't need to do anything for at least another 6 months.
So what did you do to achieve this? Did you hide the cookie jar, or did you lock the fridge, or I mean, what did you do, John?
He started working for Zita's Healthy Beginnings website.
Yeah, that's why I started doing this nonprofit stuff for Zita and the other websites.
And Lydia.
And God's healing me. He's like, okay, I'm going to heal you now because you got work to do for these 2 nonprofits. And I was like, I'm all in. I'm all in.
The spiritual aspect, the spiritual dimension.
Hey, if you guys see the website and you have any suggestions, No, I'm kidding. No, let me know. Tell me if there's anything else we need to add, do, or connect to and stuff like that. I still have quite a bit of work to do on the website. I'm kind of rebuilding it. But we're getting there and we're making, if I can get Zita to write blogs, everybody remind her to write blogs, okay?
Yeah, yeah,
Well, blogs have a lot of feet and then will
Yeah.
take her business to the next level. And we
right.
just gotta pray to God that he stays, she stays, and me too, stays nice and tight with him. And we need to all just put our heads together and how do we market this thing for Zita's Healthy Beginnings.
Thank you so much, John. You have really done, I shared where you were, where you have done a very wonderful job. I mean, people that didn't know my Facebook, website, if you go there, you will know now that we're really right on top. It is so well organized, it's well polished. It's bringing out the information that I need to share with the world. And I'm
What a lot of
so
people don't know is I was a painting contractor and a photographer for 40 years. I did both businesses. And back in 2008, I had a hip replacement that became infected. So I went through 10 operations to fight the infection. It almost killed me, took my leg. Consequently, I went back to school and got a graphic arts degree. So, and at the time when I was getting into the graphic arts, I asked God, please put me to work. These new tools that you're giving me, please put me to work for your benefit. And I did a few things in the past, and then all of a sudden here in the last 2 months, I've gotten connected with Zita. She's my sweetheart, by the way. So anyway, so God's doing it. So, and he will do that with all of us. I'd like to collaborate with all of us so we can all be a part of this. Okay.
Yes, yes. Thank
So-
you so much.
So well said. So well said. Wonderful.
All right. So anyone else want to say something before we say bye?
Okay. Talking about, I mean, I'm a Rotarian. I've been a Rotarian for 28 years now. And, now especially, we need to help. There's so many things going on in this world today. And, when you talk about, nonprofits, it's, I love my Rotarian family. We do so many great things and doing things for the world.
What is Rotarian? What is that?
Well, it's a service organization like the Lions or Kiwanis.
Okay.
It's a service organization. It's all over the world. We have Rotary International, polio projects and the water projects. But now we have Shelter Box, which we distribute, like in Ukraine. They're like little tents with all the supplies in them. And we distribute those to all countries going through hardships. So Rotary is one of the organizations that I'm very, very active in, and I believe in. So, today, talking about websites and, you can go to rotary.com or rotaryfoundation.com and, see what we're doing. But, yeah, websites, I applaud you that you design websites. I just had a new one designed for me with, we've had our website about 18 years now, but we just redid it, because it's all, now it's e-commerce, everyone, you need to pivot. So websites are very, very important now.
Yep. And use your blog. Build a
Yes.
blog on your business website and use it regularly because it will have more feet than the SEO off your regular pages. And the other thing is get into YouTube and make YouTube, because YouTube is owned by Google. And guess what? Google is all about SEO. So is YouTube and
Right.
posting up your thing. So make sure you do it. I'm going to be working on some videos for Zeta with some music background and talking and all kinds of interesting stuff. So keep doing it. Good work, guys.
Yeah, well, yeah, good talking to you, John. Do you have a website? Could you put your website in the chat?
Put your information, please.
You want me to do
Everyone can
that?
put their info, please. Put your information on the chart and we can, we'll
Okay.
save it. So
I'll do it right now. Hold on a second before you go away, so it'll still be there. Where is
Hannah,
everybody from?
Hannah, have you your information in the chat? I don't.
Where is everybody from?
Hannah, do you have your info on the chart?
I do, yeah. I do, yeah.
Okay. Hannah, how about you? I don't see Hannah's information. Hannah,
Yeah,
do
I'm
you
gonna-
have info? Okay.
I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna-
There's one. I gotta split it up because it's too long. It won't let me put it.
Really?
Let me try it again. I'm sorry, guys. I just wrote this up because I'm going to another networking group here in Phoenix. Dang.
Was
Hold
that
it, hold
you?
it. Let's try it like this. There's some of it.
Okay.
Wait.
I guess they only allow you so much. Well, they let me put a little bit in there.
All right. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
All right, so thank you everyone once again and have a wonderful night. And Patrick, have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, have a
Okay.
good day, Patrick.
Thanks, Hannah. Are your details in the chat, Hannah?
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
putting it in now. I
Yeah.
don't know how, I don't know how to get to everyone.
Okay, Hannah, I see you. See, okay, I see.
Yeah, I gave it to you because I don't know how to get to everyone.
Okay, let me see, because if you click on that, your name, you will see everyone in meeting on top,
wait a
right
minute.
on top.
If I click on my name,
Yes, you would, that arrow, did you see the arrow? That arrow?
let me just, no. I mean, if I can get, everyone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if
Mhm.
you can't, I'm gonna copy and paste and I will send it to everyone then.
Okay, great. Yeah, Patrick, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I put it to everyone now.
Okay. And John, are you still there?
Yes, I'm right here.
Yeah, my website is toolfactoryoutlet.com. If you want to take
let
a
me
look
write
at
down.
it.
Tool Factory Outlet.
.com. This is a new site and I'm very excited about it.
Outlet.
Yeah, tool
What
factory
kind,
outlet.
what kind of stuff do you sell?
We sell all hand and power tools and equipment. You know, we compete with the depots and of course now Amazon.
Okay,
But yeah, I'm excited. We've been in business now for over 37 years.
wow. Where are you located?
So we're in Goshen, New York.
Okay, I should have known. I hear the New York accent in there.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Sorry.
I'm from Chicago originally.
Ah,
The
I love it.
Mayor Daley accent.
Okay, so if everybody wants to, you know, like save the chart. So you go on the three dots at your right hand side, click on it, and click on Save Chart. Remember where you're saving it to. So,
Oh, I see your website now. Very cool. I'm gonna go on there and look, and if I don't see a new blog on here at least once a month, I'm gonna yell at Zita, and then Zita's gonna yell at you. Okay, everybody.
all right.
Talk to you later.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Good
Gina.
night, all. All right.
for-
Thank you, Patrick. Take care.
Okay, everybody, we've been watching Zita's World of Women show. We'd like to thank you very much for joining the show. It's a very, very, oh, look at that. You get to see Justice here. So there we go. All right, a little bit better. Anyway, thank you for tuning in tonight to watch Zita's World of Women. And I would like for everybody to understand that we had a few technical difficulties with this, but you know what? We've got it off and running. Make sure that you join them every Tuesday evening right here at 8 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. She's truly a lovely, lovely, lovely woman, full of so much good and so much information. And she's just a great friend. Remember that you can shop with any Community Pay It Forward fundraising partner. And when you do that, if you take and you send the receipt in, you can give the receipt to Zita. So you want to learn more about that? Send us an email. Zach at communitypayitforward.us. One more time, that's Zach at communitypayitforward.us. For Zita, for Emily, for Kurt, for the PAC channel, we'll talk to you tomorrow night. Actually, we'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon with a new episode of Nick. And then at 7 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock here Mountain Time, you'll be ready for another episode of Packed. We got a packed show. Packed is packed tomorrow. So make sure that you join us and have a good time. Again, my name is Zach Clayton for Zita and for everybody that she had such a great show. I appreciate it. Have a great night. Thank you very much.